Hey, I'm Shelby.
And I'm Courtney.
We're exploring our past
Looking forward to our future.
and living for the present.
Oh, while
Well,
learning how
how
to
to live.
live magically.
Hello.
Hey,
Okay, we were just in this like long discussion, and then Hofo let us know that we're recording and we needed to carry on. But first,
that's how the people know that this is like real and authentic because we were just like this was like a phone call. We were just like
yeah.
FaceTiming, and
Well,
now there's the cameras on. We're FaceTiming for everyone.
but I want to. we're going to tell people about this. But first, is it just saw you drinking out of your Galinda Stanley?
Oh,
Okay, not to hate on Stanley, but I just got a hydro jug.
who makes it?
Hydro jug.
Oh, I don't know anything about that. Okay.
Look,
How do you get your drink out of it?
whoa.
Well, that's like my simple modern. Yeah, amazing. But mine doesn't have a handle, so that's pretty good.
This is 10 out of 10. And
Yeah,
look at this pattern. Look how cute it is.
it is very gingham.
I'm
It's
obsessed.
it's
Anywho,
insulated, like hot or cold, same thing as a Stanley.
yeah, yep.
Amazing.
And it has like a rubber bottom so it doesn't like ruin.
Yep,
I'm
love
obsessed.
that.
Got it yesterday. I drank two yesterday, 80 ounces of water, which is what you're supposed to do.
Amazing.
Here we are.
I love
Anyway,
that. I've been on like a tea kick, so I'm just doing like tea all
uh,
day, a
uh,
million teas,
fair enough. Fair enough.
and
So
a glass straw. I just want to point that out.
why?
Because it's a hot liquid. So like I'm not also I'm like not doing plastics anymore, but uh it's hot.
That's
So
fair.
I don't want people to be like, you're getting diseases because you're like cancer. You're drinking out of a plastic straw,
Hot,
hot liquid.
hot with a hot liquid melting
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Fair.
So
Um, we were just talking. I got this crazy opportunity. We'll call it an opportunity.
yes. Yes.
I actually can't even believe that it happened.
No.
Okay, let's just like tell a backstory of like how this stuff works, even though I don't really know how it works, but I'm just going to tell you what I know.
Yeah.
So I am not an influencer, but I somehow got in with this company who will randomly like email me like opportunities to apply for. And they're all ones that like fit my vibe for the most part. There's some that I definitely just ignore because it's not for me. But I got one the other probably 2 weeks ago now at this point from Jordan's Furniture, which if you this is it's a New England brand, and I think they're New England and New York,
Okay.
maybe New Jersey. And they're like looking for influencers to create content to like update their man cave. And I was like, whoa, we got that.
Yeah.
And they would send you like furniture. And I was like, sure. So I'll apply. There's just like no chance that I'm getting this. And I got it.
And what did you get?
They sent me a couch, like a reclining, like leather couch, like a 3-seater that's like all like remote buttons. It's crazy.
Amazing.
And an air hockey table.
Unbelievable. Is Kyle like thrilled?
Oh, he is like, so when I got this email, he was like in a meeting and he came upstairs and I said, hey, so would you like a new couch for downstairs? And he was like, I mean, the couch down there is fine. Why? And I was like, well, I got this opportunity. He's like, there's no way. And I was like, he was like, what about a pool table? And I was like, sure, but I don't think there's enough room. So he went and measured and there wasn't. And I was like, you can get an air hockey table. And he was like, that would be sick. So
Oh.
I emailed them back and I was like, we would love to replace the couch. And I said, or we could do an air hockey table. And they responded back and they're like, they'll send you both. And I was like, what is happening? This is
Yeah.
like, my content is not that good. This
Yes,
is
it
crazy.
is.
Well, so like Ange said this that I've been trying to remind myself. She's like, you share your life with the followers that you do have like on the daily. So at some point you have to be rewarded for that.
Totally.
And I was like, you know what? I guess you're right. Okay, fine.
You are so consistent.
not I haven't been lately, but irrelevant. So today, this morning, they came and brought this couch and an air hockey table. And it's just like mind blowing. But also, let's just like circle back because like kind of crazy full circle is remember do you remember the debacle when I got this couch back in 2020 that I'm
No.
sitting now in our living room? It's still up on my like highlights on Instagram. I shared the whole story. It was this
Oh, your
whole
upstairs couch. Yeah.
my upstairs couch. It was this whole thing, and people still will like message me talking about my couch.
What was
And
it from? Like Bob's Couches or something?
yeah, it was from Bob's, and they like told me they were out for delivery. So we moved all of our couches that
Yes.
we had nothing up here, and then they just didn't show up. They told me they drove by. We're like, no, you didn't. And then they said, okay, we don't have your couch anymore. We can bring it in like a month or something. And Kyle had to argue with them. And then they brought me, they said we only have like half of the couch. So then they brought like half, but then they actually had the whole thing. I don't even know. And then they showed up like 2 days later with another piece of the couch that we just like put in our garage. It was wild. But so now I'm like, I had this like full circle journey of like getting a couch, sharing it on Instagram, and now here we are. Like I got
Unbelievable.
so, anyways, when I post that content, people, if you could please just like it, I'd really appreciate
Totally. Yeah, that's amazing. You are so worthy of the deal.
the whole
And it's
thing.
so cool that you're willing to like share info about the behind the scenes of it all because I think for a lot of people it is like a big mystery how all of the
Mhm.
quote unquote influencer stuff works. And also I think it's different for everybody. I think there are people out there like I don't know, Kim Kardashian or something that are getting like millions of dollars and a
Oh,
free couch to like
definitely.
post a picture on the couch. So it's very different for
Yeah,
everyone. You're
it's definitely different for everyone, and it like, obviously depends on how many followers you have. And there's like,
yes.
obviously, I get like these opportunities that are emailed to me that I can apply for, and I don't get them all by any means.
No.
I can apply that for them, and some of them are just gifted opportunities. Some of them are gifted, and they ask how much like I charge, which I honestly don't even know how I'm supposed to do that kind of stuff. Um, but then, I mean, there are opportunities that can come that I can like reach out to a brand or something if it's something I really want to share. Like I'll be honest, I tried to reach out to Impress Nails because I was
Smart.
on my nail journey, and I
Yeah.
was like, oh, I might as well just like see if they have an opportunity. They never emailed me back, but that's just like how it works. Off topic, but continuing on the topic of Impress Nails, I have been using them and I was really loving them, and then I broke out in like a rash on my middle finger, and I feel like it's because I'm allergic again.
Yeah, I think you have some sort of allergy to adhesives. Do you ever have
Yeah,
that problem with like bandages or anything?
I know that I have an allergy to adhesives.
I remember your eyeballs, but
Yeah, remember I went and got tested though.
oh, well then that's done.
Yeah, so but like okay, I'm well when you say it like that, yeah, I'm aware, but I still they were working fine, but like why here's my nails. Why would it happen right here on the middle of my finger?
Because I we're gonna get like deep, but like your shit absorbs the chemicals and like it probably went into your bloodstream.
I guess so. So I took them off and now it's like drying up, so it must be why.
You could maybe find like a different, like a hypoallergenic adhesive.
I
Maybe,
don't know. I'm really that committed, but it's really annoying.
yeah, heard. It's hard to take pictures when you have bad nails.
That's what I mean.
Yeah,
Because sometimes I feel like my nails like look dirty and I'm like, they're not.
right.
So then I look gross.
I literally just went through this. We went to the Met, the museum here, and I wanted to take like a little pic for the gram, and I was like, my nails look like shit, but I'm just in a place right now where I'm not doing nails.
Yeah.
So I was just like, I wasn't even like in it. I just was like holding the little stupid flyer up, but my nail was in it, and I had to like hide it in the thing. I was like, this is stupid. Whatever.
Stupid. So stupid. But I had this issue. I was taking a reel for my new release and I was like with the sticker and I was like, oh man, my nail looks like crap.
I saw that video, so cute, and did not notice the nail.
Sure, you're just being nice.
No, I really did. I would tell
Actually,
you in a
you
minute.
would have been like, girl, No,
Yeah, 100. You know it. I called you out the other day on that typo you had in your story. The funniest thing
that
I
was.
ever saw in my life.
I think that's why I haven't been sharing recently because I'm mortified on that comment. I don't even want to bring it up on here.
It
Honestly,
was so funny.
that was.
I
So, I don't even think I told Kyle.
You got to tell him because I think he
He's
would think
right.
it was hilarious.
Mortified.
It was.
I posted the other day, and I'm actually kind of mad at you that you could have proofread when you saw the post. I posted when we moved our bed, and I had a typo that said like I don't remember what did it say.
Thin window.
The
You were
sin
like,
window.
you said we moved our bed in front of the sin window.
SIN?
SIN.
It's bad juju.
That's like
No,
Kyle.
it's like, think
So
about it,
inappropriate.
Kyle.
No, I'm not putting two and two together.
Oh my god.
Oh,
It's he just left the room laughing.
I
And
thought it was so funny.
truly tragic. Nobody said anything.
I did.
Yeah, besides you. So who like read it and was thinking? I don't know, because sometimes they're not shy to tell me how it is in my DMs. So I'm just kind of shocked. I don't know.
Maybe my mind was just in the gutter and everybody else was having a regular day.
I guess so. That was not cool. Not cool. Okay. Anyways, do you have anything for me?
Nails, adhesives. No. I mean, I do want to share one thing. So random. We're still in New York. I've been addicted. I'm doing gluten-free now. Hi, great. That's my new life. But because I'm in the city, there's like so many great places. I just gotta recommend, and you have to go. This place called Modern Bread and Bagel. And it's like a little chain across the city, I think. I think there's like three of them. I go to the one on the Upper East Side, but it is literally better than any bagel. They make pizza, they make like Twinkie, they have like what's this holiday? I keep saying Thanksgiving. Valentine's Day, pink
Who are
sprinkle Twinkies. I know.
what's your favorite holiday?
I know it is my favorite holiday, but I'm like basically missing it, so I'm trying to ignore it. Um, just like so many good things, and they sell out so fast because they're so good. But they do like a seasonal cream cheese every month. They do a
Oh,
seasonal bagel. It's just like very, you would be obsessed with it, and you would never, ever, ever, ever know it was gluten free ever.
amazing.
Yeah. So highly recommend Modern Bread and Bagel, and they have like baking mixes too. So I'm gonna grab a couple.
Yeah.
That's all I
Modern
got.
modern bread and bagel. Shout
Yeah.
out.
So cute. That's all I got. I just thought of you because, bagels.
Oh, I love a bagel.
I
Love a
know.
bagel. I'm on this well we already know my sourdough journey is not working out for me. And I'm still obsessed with it though. I just like I think I need a hobby and this is like the hobby that I want to have.
Yeah.
Um Somebody is sending me their like dehydrated sourdough so that I can try to start from there. But anywho, the whole reason is because I want to make bagels
Yeah.
and English muffins. I could really care less about the bread if we're being honest, but like I want
Oh. How
bagels
do,
and English muffins.
how do you make an English muffin? Is it like special pan?
I don't think so. I think you just like cut it out. Like cut it into like the circle.
But then like how does it become so fluffy in the middle compared to like
Well, I
something
don't know.
else?
Someday I'm gonna have a good sourdough starter and I'm gonna make them.
I'm gonna need
But
a lesson because like the middle, you can't just like arrange the same dough in a circle and have a bagel and in a circle without a hole and have an English muffin. They're not the same consistency.
they're pretty close, except for like an English muffin is like has like cornmeal around it.
No, bagels are like dense and English muffins are like fluffy and have a lot of holes in the middle.
Kinda.
Yeah. I
But
can't wait for you to find out.
yeah, I wanted to do the sourdough thing a long time ago and then it didn't
Yeah.
work. Okay, once the kitchen's redone, I'm gonna start it. And then I didn't start it right away because a girl like two houses down from me started baking sourdough and she has like a little cart that she puts out on Saturday mornings and you could just go buy her sourdough goods. So cute,
Yeah,
right?
that's so cute.
Yeah, so me and my aunt would go and buy all of her stuff. So I was getting English muffins from her on the weekly, and I was like, well, I don't need to make my own sourdough because I can buy these from her.
Yep.
And then she hasn't baked anything for like 4 weeks. So I was like, oh, I need English muffins. So I started with sourdough. But now this is a long rant over really nothing that nobody cares about. But now I'm on a
I
journey
know.
to find really good English muffins,
Oh,
like at the grocery store,
yeah.
because English muffins have way less calories, not way
Yes.
less, but way less calories than a bagel.
And they have like so many nooks and crannies for whatever you're putting on them.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'd kind of trying to like get in the English muffin game.
Yeah.
And my wild green ones from like the box, the frozen box, when they send them to me, those are like 10 out of 10. But I can't be in that box all the time.
Right.
So I have tried, I think, like 4 or 5 different brands of English muffins at the grocery store, and I can't get one that I love.
This could be like your nail series of February. It could be
I
like,
know. I should be sharing
yeah,
I've tried like Dave's. Have you heard of him?
of course. Like Dave's Killer Bread.
Dave's Killer Bread. He has
Yeah.
Dave's Killer English Muffins. Those weren't very good. There's also ones, I think they're called like Bay, and those have to be like refrigerated. So I was like, surely those are good. And they have a sourdough and then a regular. The sourdough are better and probably the best that I've tried so far. And then this week we're on to Panera Bread's brand
Oh,
of
yeah.
muffins. They're not good
Oh, do you get them at Panera or at the Grosh?
at the grocery store.
Oh, okay.
So that's
Interesting.
that's my journey that we're on.
Um, Fascinating and very on brand because we're all about like hobbies here. And I feel like something's really trendy right now is like grandma hobbies. Have you heard of this?
Like making sourdough.
Yeah, like making sourdough. And like I'm really into embroidery again, which is
Oh,
like
I
I know
always think when I see embroidery stuff because I just think there's so much that you could do.
I know I'm trying to like get back into it. We've had time here where I'm like on the couch, so I'm like getting back into the embroidery and it's fun. It's hard, fun, whatever, but another grandma hobby. But I
Yeah.
feel like that's um becoming very like trendy. Like an early bedtime. People are like very much romanticizing the early bedtime with like a sleepy time cocktail, which is like not alcohol, but like herbs and stuff.
Yeah.
Just like all of that. So you're like very on trending. You don't even know it.
And I'm reading.
And you're reading another one.
Look at me.
Yeah, unbelievable.
At me.
I'm so
Okay.
impressed. And your shirt design, so cute. Your last 2 shirt designs, I should have texted you. 10 out of 10.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
I love them. The book one and the one on this that's like sideways is the Frozen one, right? And it says
Yeah.
like 2 sisters that should be princesses or
Yeah.
2 should be princesses but aren't or something.
2 queens. I don't know exactly what it says. The shirt's
Yeah.
right. Yeah. That
It's
should be
so funny. Brilliant. Great mind in there.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
That one will be today's Wednesday, so we'll see if people like it.
I got so this ornament exchange I received nothing, but last ornament exchange I received an ornament and a like a wine tumbler kind of thing. It's like a metal one,
Yeah.
with the book similar like book print, but it is Taylor Swift albums.
So that's where I got the idea.
I figured like so cute. I love it. I love looking at it. The whole thing, very cute.
I just like couldn't believe that it hadn't been done for princesses. And I mean, I searched the web to make sure that I wasn't crazy, that this hadn't been done, and it hadn't
Yeah.
been done. So crazy.
Such a good idea. I hope that people love it. I think it's a great idea.
Fingers crossed. I hope so too.
And like well executed. The colorways, very nice.
I haven't
The
even shown
fonts.
they're like 3 different colored shirts because the way that I printed it made it like tone on tone, so they all look a little different, but I was able to print it on different colors rather than like a lot of times I just do one color, but he was able to, it's like a really, really washed out white, so it makes the shirt come through in like different colors. It's pretty cool.
Can I get on the VIP pre-order list?
Yeah, always. You know that.
Great. I know. Hello. Here's me wearing this one here.
Yeah,
Always
that was
wearing my clothes.
yeah. That was just special for you. Okay. We're chatting today.
We're chatting. Have you been like following the comments in our group?
I did the other day before we were supposed to record, and I mean there was a lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
Which I
Yeah.
love. people are like passionate, and people reminded me of stuff I forgot about, and I was like, oh, that's on my list.
Okay, so my list didn't really change from reading people's.
Okay.
But how did you word this again? What did you call it?
I don't know.
Like 3 things at is it 3 like does it have to be like attractions or a thing like
I think I tried to make it a little more broad, like anything, because I said it could be an attraction, a meet and greet,
okay.
restaurant, whatever. Just like something at Disney that's no longer there that you miss.
Okay. I just want to make sure.
Yeah, because so things you miss that are no longer at Disney World. Because some people, I'll name like some honorable mentions, named stuff that's like off the wall, like direct resort airline check-in. You remember that?
Oh.
And I was like, I lived here when so I never like used it, but people were like, that was so easy. I was like, I didn't even remember that. And like the Magical Express, just like stuff like that I was like, oh, that's not even like a thing I would have thought of, but it's so real.
Well, that is a kind of my number 2 is something that wasn't on that like that nobody commented, and I was like, what in the
Oh, I can't wait to hear it. Okay, so how many did you do?
Well, you told me to do 3.
Okay, yeah, I have more than 3, but I will limit it to 3.
I follow the rules.
I know you are a good rule follower. I'm gonna shout out some other honorable mentions that people threw down.
Well, no, not yet. You don't even know what's on my list.
No, because I want to do ours. Oh, I see. Okay, great. Yeah,
ours
got it.
And then we
dissect.
dissect.
Are yours like ranked?
Yeah.
Okay, so start with like the bottom one.
3.
Yeah, 3.
Okay, my number 3 is going to be, this is going to shock some people, is the Dream Lights.
On the castle.
On the castle. Now it's number 3 because I do believe they're coming back. Like
okay.
Deep down in my soul.
There's no way.
Why?
The projections.
No, they're coming back
Okay.
because they didn't even give us a proper goodbye.
They have Osborne lights in the back too, so.
Those aren't coming back.
I'm just saying, all the lights are somewhere in the back. They're coming back. Don't worry. Continue.
No. We can get into that. Dreamlights is number 3 for me because I do believe they're coming back because they didn't give us a proper goodbye, and that's just rude.
And by Dreamlights, you're referring to the Christmas light, like the Christmas dream lights on the castle, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And like, yeah, it was pretty magical.
Yeah, it was.
Do you have like particular memories associated with those, or is that just like your Christmas nostalgia love of that stuff?
Well, I think my like top 3 things in life are like Disney and Christmas and Taylor Swift. And if you can combine Christmas and Disney into one, like,
Yeah. I support that.
And the projections are sure they're like cool, but they're not the freaking lights.
Yeah.
They're projections and lights to me don't even go they're not even apples and oranges. They're like no.
Yeah. I totally agree with what you're saying. I also, in general, am like very take it or leave it on the projections overall.
Yeah. I think the projections, okay. Projections with like happily ever after they hit, but
sure.
Like I don't know.
They don't. Yeah, you have to. Projections have become almost like, I don't want to say an elitist thing, but like you have to be like in the right spot for viewing, at the right angle, at the right time, all the things. Otherwise, you can't see them. The dream lights you could see from the contemporary, like
yeah,
it was like a gift to all. Whereas like projections are very cool. They're just I don't know. It makes it more specific.
Projections are really cool, but until when? Like projections, let's just like happily ever after, okay? They do a lot of really cool projections with happily ever after. For instance, like when they ring the bell and it like literally looks like the bell is like on the castle and it's like ringing, or the the Toy Story part when the whole castle looks like toys, like
Yeah.
or blocks or whatever. Like those
Yeah.
things are cool, but like how many different ways can you do that where it's gonna like amaze me when you basically used all your tricks on Happily Ever After?
I agree. And I find that projections should be like an enhancement, not the focus. So like there's the Brave scene where she like shoots the bow and arrow and then like the little firework like spark goes off.
Great.
That to me is unbelievable. Epic, a moment, like, but it's a moment, I don't know, and it needs like the little firework to make it like a complete
Yeah. Agreed.
scene.
Yes.
That to me is like an awesome use of projections. Just like,
With like the lanterns.
you know, lantern's beautiful.
Yeah.
And I would say like Tinkerbell flying, such a cool thing. I think it would definitely lose its magic if like everybody was flying down the castle every 30 seconds. That would be not cool.
Right.
So I think it like has a place. I just think maybe it's like a little overdone.
Well, I'm just saying, don't put projection in replace of Dreamlights. It's not the same.
That's what I'm saying. Like we could have both.
Yeah, we could, but we don't.
So, yeah.
And so you think the Dreamlights are gone because of projections?
Yeah, because I think they can't project over them. We had to like paint the castle. We had to like do a lot of things for these freaking projections. So,
Oh, I
I
thought
mean,
Dreamlights were gone because of like the 50th anniversary like decorations. They like couldn't put them on, which that made sense because they had the spirally things.
I mean, we'll find out, right? But the 50th is over, so
I know. Well, that's why I
probably.
thought I was hopeful they would be back this last year, and they weren't. So,
Yeah, no.
anyway, all right,
Very
give me.
sad. Honorable mention in that category. Somebody mentioned also the Kiss Goodnight is gone, and
That's
that
silly then.
that's what somebody said, and I agree. Like the Kiss Goodnight was like three little spotlights that made it like a romantic color, and it was like your sign to leave the park, and a little. I think there was like a little audio that they played, like
Yeah,
"What a magical day! Thanks for being here." Um, and I just am. That to me is like a weird budget cut. Like, why did we do that?
that that's just dumb. No.
So yeah, a lot of lighting changes over on the castle. Um, my number three is, and I picked like broad categories for two of them. So sorry, Animal Kingdom at night.
Okay.
So pre-pandemic, you could go to Animal Kingdom at night, and I'm talking about like after dark. And it was so cool to me. You could ride Everest in the dark, which is like such a different experience. Safari had that like huge sunset lighting situation, which was like questionable, but like a neat new addition.
Yeah.
The animals were different at night. My favorite thing about Animal Kingdom at night was Rivers of Light.
I know you
Gone
love her.
too soon. Like to me, it's just like don't. It was a nighttime spectacular that now we don't have anything to replace. It's not like something better came in. It's just one less option.
I guess I don't understand why can't Animal Kingdom be open at night?
I'm sure it's some kind of like budget thing, which doesn't make sense to me either because the parks are so overcrowded that like
I'm like over the excuse of like the budget because of like they're still everything's still blamed on 2020.
yeah, yes,
But the
yes,
parks are more crowded than they've ever been in
yes,
2020.
and that's like give people some space because
Excuse me, hold on, go on.
you'd have to be you'd have to have room. Like I don't know. I'm just like people are paying to come into the park either way, and they've had to either pay for a hopper to get to that park at night, which is extra money, or pay specifically for that park. Like, just I don't know. Give people an option. Let's give people an option.
I mean, I guess because it's like you're talking like the cost of cast members working.
Yeah, I'm sure it's like
But
employment.
I don't know. It would allow like people to disperse other places. So
I don't get it, and it seems interesting to me that they couldn't, rather than figuring out a way to like monetize it better, because if it's like a financial problem, I don't know, have like more restaurants that sell stuff or more like nighttime specific goods, like
you know,
light up bubble wands or I don't know, whatever.
why am I thinking that Rivers of Light was a temporary show that was
Um,
supposed to be replaced by like something bigger at some like I thought
so
that was always the talk.
they did like a preview of Rivers of Light because it was delayed. That was like the Jungle Book,
Okay.
and then Rivers of Light came. And my understanding is Rivers of Light never like saw its full potential. They had like a lot of additional cool tech stuff. That I don't know why it didn't happen. Budget cuts or maybe it never worked out. I don't know.
Who knows? Yeah.
Um, but that show to me, the music and stuff was, yes, amazing, but also the technology there. Those floats were like autonomously driven by robot computers. Like they would know if they got like too close to each other, they would like back up. Just so cool. So cool that we could do it in the middle of the animals and not
Yeah.
scare anybody because like no fireworks, whatever. And it was still very immersive.
Right.
Um, I never have a memory of going to that show and it being like so full that or so empty that you could like sit wherever you want. There were always like premier dining package seating,
Yeah.
lightning lane seating, whatever. So I just like don't get it. And it's a huge wasted space to me. Yes, it's like a waterway, but
No, it is. And because there's already seating there.
right.
So what are we doing with it? Right.
Right. So
Crazy.
that's my number 3.
Okay.
You're
Number
up.
My number 2 is what I didn't see listed anywhere, and that's extra magic hours for resort guests at Magic Kingdom until 1 a.m.
Oh yeah, that was
Those were the days.
yeah.
Even, I guess now what can you do if you're staying in a deluxe resort? I think
I
maybe like
think
1 day a week, and it has to be like a Wednesday. I think maybe is Magic Kingdom's day where they stay open late. I'm not positive. But for me, I just happen to like we never are there on a Wednesday. I feel like we are always travel like Thursday to whatever. But it used to be like multiple days a week
yep.
and be from like 10 to 1 a.m. and it could be anybody staying on property.
Yeah. It used to be every day. There was magic hours either before or after, like either morning or evening, and like usually 2 different parks.
Yeah. And now it's like Magic Kingdom gets 1 day and Epcot gets another day and it's deluxe guest only.
My assumption there would be that they're selling out in the hotels anyway, so they don't need to offer the perks, but they really have stripped back the perks.
It was I just remember like the parks were like empty. And I'm sure
Yeah.
even nowadays, like even if they did offer that type of thing, they wouldn't be as empty as they were back then. But it was some of like the best memories was, closing down Magic Kingdom until 1 a.m. and just hopping on all the rides.
Yeah.
Those were great.
I love that for you that memory is Magic Kingdom specific.
Very Magic Kingdom specific, yes.
Yeah.
Well, but that's because so like Epcot, yes, there's like rides and stuff, but anytime there's extra magic hours at Epcot, like the countries are closed. So
True.
that to me is like half the park.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like I would take a no line waiting in line at like food stops in the countries until 1 a.m. Yeah, I
Yeah.
would.
Yeah.
But the countries are
Agree.
closed. That to me is a little weird.
Agree.
And I don't remember like extra magic hours at studios. Like I didn't.
Yeah, I don't either.
So it's just very Magic Kingdom specific for me.
Yeah. That's
Nice. Those
wow.
were the
Yeah, those were the days. Oh.
okay. Number 2 for you.
Yeah, my number 2 is also like a sweeping category. Um, the old Hollywood studios.
Oh, okay.
I know that's like a big one, but for me, the Great Movie Ride was cool. The Backlot Tour. Do you remember the Backlot Tour?
The backlot tour, I do remember it, but I needed to know because I tried to Google this when I saw a bunch of people post this because I used to love the backlot tour.
Yeah.
I am a sucker for anything like behind the scenes. We know that about me.
Yes.
But I feel like I specifically remember on a backlot tour, you would drive past a window in the costuming
Yep.
department.
Yes.
Okay. I'm not crazy. Because that
Yes.
to me was like the coolest part.
You
And
you drove by it, or maybe it was in the queue, because I know part of the queue went through like a quote unquote props building.
yeah, I don't know. I just remember seeing like the costuming department. And I do remember I did a backstage tour once and I got to go in the costuming department.
Yes.
Specifically remember being on backlot tour and like seeing a window. Like
Yes.
and
There was
I
a window. There were like set pieces. I think they had like the House of the Golden Girls or something. Like,
just so just I guess yeah, I guess it was old Hollywood studios and I just feel like that's what belonged there. And it's to me a ride that could easily be updated by
yeah.
putting in new props.
Well, and they did like special effects. There was that scene where they did like the water release in the canyon and like all that water came flooding down. Um, it was a really cool, to me, also like an inspirational ride for anybody who was interested in like filmmaking or behind the scenes magic or I don't know, just any creative pursuit, even like engineering pursuits. I don't know. It was just like a cool, like, it was like a day in the life of people's jobs.
Yeah, and you
But like,
just something I mean not that you can like trying to not that you see every day or like or experience Star Wars every day, sure, but this is more something that's like realistic that could get kids literally dreaming of what they want to be when they grow up.
yes, yes. And like
Yeah.
dreaming bigger, dreaming beyond like professions you see every day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, loved that. Also, it was on brand for the park. It's Disney's Hollywood Studios. I think that park needs like a full rename because it's should just be called like Dumpster Fire Park. Because it just doesn't make sense anymore to me. Do you remember the Animation Academy
Well, yes,
or whatever
and
it was called?
I don't know what it
Courtyard, Animation Courtyard.
but like why is that anything Animation Academy? That's so we could go on and on about the build empty buildings and studios where they could put that specifically easily.
Yes. Yeah, like a guy drawing and some people, papers and pens. Like,
Yeah.
I know that those things inspired people who are artists today. And it just doesn't make sense to me that like we couldn't keep it. And it's on brand. Also, now it's a Star Wars thing. And I love Star Wars, but we don't need it in 3 parts of the park.
I will yes. We've talked about that too many times.
Wild. There used to be like Streetmosphere. I don't know if that still exists, but I haven't seen it in a long time. The actors who would just like walk around the
Oh
streets.
my god, those were so fun.
Yeah, like such a cool moment.
I have seen those
Unassuming
done,
moment.
I would say recently.
Yeah, because I think Equity Ben is doing it, maybe.
Oh,
Again.
he'd be good at that.
Yeah, no kidding. But there also even was like I remember, and then when I moved here, I was like, oh, that happens all the time. There was like random cast members that would be like, we're shooting a scene for X TV show. We need like everybody around here to like get together and pose. And everybody would be like, oh, cool. Like, I want to be part of that. And everybody would like get together and do like whatever. And it just was, you thought you were like part of something and you were, but this
No,
was like a cool moment.
I agree.
Um, Also, my honorable mention in that category is the Pixar Play Parade, which, in my opinion, was the second best parade of all time.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I loved it. I think it's because I have like personal connection to it because I had friends that were in it. But that parade was so cool, and then they took it away for nothing. And now in Land, they had some variation of it. Like I remember being there and hearing one of the songs, and I was like, "What's happening?" But it's just never been the same. It was so cool. They had like traffic cones for Toy Story, and they had like the monsters from Monsters Inc. and like
And that would still fit nowadays. So
totally.
what are we doing?
It was such a good parade, and there's no parade now.
I was gonna say their only park that has a parade now is Magic Kingdom. Why is
Right.
that?
I don't get it. Again, like budget cuts, what? I don't get it. So
Yeah.
whatever. All right, what's your number one?
My number one on the same topic is what we were just talking about is the Osborne lights.
Yeah.
That's my number one.
I have amazing memories with you in the Osborne lights.
And I think that's probably why. And I only got to experience it one time.
Wait, that was the only time you ever saw them?
Yeah, well, I saw it 3 days that trip, but
Oh, okay.
yeah, it was truly and I was really thinking of why I love this so much. And I
Yeah.
don't know because it's something where like here in New Hampshire, we can't just like, I mean, we can, but you have to like really bundle up to go walk down the street and see Christmas lights, right?
Yeah.
Like the walkthroughs outside where you can see Christmas lights, but it's nothing like Osborne lights ever was. Like, I mean, there was Christmas lights just from the ground to like 15 feet up. Like,
Can you describe it for people who have never seen them, who will never see them?
it's literally the most magical thing on earth. It was just a street of Christmas lights, but it wasn't just Christmas lights strung on buildings. It was sheets of Christmas lights everywhere. But then the Christmas lights would sing and dance, literally dance to music
Yep.
and to
It would
us
snow.
to music in the middle of the street with just like twinkling lights all around you. Oh my
It
god.
would snow. Like
It was pure magic.
it was pretty unbelievable. I mean, yeah, pretty unbelievable. And that it was in a part of the park that was otherwise used as like, I think it was on like Grant Street or something. The Streets of America,
Right.
which were supposed to be like, again, Hollywood Studios themed street sets. It was like porch steps leading up to a doorway and, New York City, like high rise, not high rise, but like buildings and all that stuff. And everything would, all of a sudden, it would like stop. And then like a song would come on and the lights, like all the roofs would go off. And then it would be like dark. And then like the green buildings would light up and like unbelievable. They had merch that went with it that you could buy like ornaments and cups and shirts. They had, everything. Drinks. You could get like hot chocolate. You could get a specialty cocktail and just like
And
roam the
people
street.
would just sit there. Like you would just sit on the curb and just like be in the joy.
And tell the people why our specific experience was so unreal.
So again, it's the only time I ever experienced it was the last year, and it was known that it was the last year.
Yep.
Like it was called the farewell. And me, Courtney, AJ, and Caitlin, was Wish Upon a Starry Night, now is Wendy, Cindy, Caitlin. We were there. And I don't really know how it came about, but we just like saw a photo pass guy and he gave us a full blown photo shoot in the lights. He had us laying on the ground. He had us sharing churros as if we were Lady and the Tramp sharing spaghetti. He had us sitting on like the stairways. He followed
like an hour.
Oh yeah, we would be like, we're done, and he'd be like, no, and take us to another spot. It was wild. I don't know if he still has a job, but
unbelievable. Well, I think we followed him on social media. I gotta find him. I think his name was like James.
Oh, that does sound right.
Right?
Yeah. Oh my God, the best. It was the best. And we still have obviously some of those pictures saved. And
we should post some of them. It was, I mean, unbelievable. And he like worked there. So he would be like, excuse me, you guys need to move. We're like setting up a shot. So it was like empty streets.
an experience you will never get now. And it was actually, thinking back on it, knowing that it was like the farewell year, it really was never mobbed. We went like 3 nights in a row, and it really wasn't ever like crazy, crazy busy. Now, if they ever brought them back, I think it would be shoulder to shoulder, and it probably would never be as enjoyable as it was.
No.
But
Yeah.
some people say that the lights were then given to give kids the world, and they did a thingamajig somewhere near Orlando. But I do not quote me on this. I looked it up last time when we were there for around Christmas time, because I was like, I would be willing to go and
Of course.
this. And I think they stopped opening it to the public, and it was like for private events only. But don't quote me on this, but that was just
I'll do some Googling, because that would be a fun influencer thing to go to also, and like show the people.
Well, I think if it was
thing.
open, it'd be much more popular and known.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. So that's my number one.
It's a good one. I respect it.
And I will also begrudge, I think, to Star Wars Galaxy's Edge because of it.
I agree.
And that's not Star Wars' fault. That's Disney's fault. They could have, no offense, but Streets of America were like big sheets. They could have picked them up and moved them to the other side. It wouldn't have been that hard. And compared to other shit that they do, they can take their little crane and move it.
I totally agree. I totally agree.
Yeah. So
I also have just my last Spectrum Magic, or Jesus, Osborne Lights spectacle of dancing lights. Memory was when Ashton and Patrick were thinking about buying the candle business.
Mm-hmm.
Like before they had kids, they were like newlyweds. And they took AJ and I to like a dancing lights dessert party.
Oh.
And it's like a core memory for me, because I just remember they were like very nervous, like I had been running my business, so I had a little bit more experience, and it was going to be like their first foray into that. But like they were so nice and like took us to this party, and we just like talked business stuff, and it just was like really cool. And then what happened? Like they like really took that thing to another level.
For sure.
Was such a cool story to watch. So I also have like memories of Walter and Rosie with the lights.
The lights, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, my number one, I just already gave it away, but it's interesting that like all of ours were light related.
Doesn't take much to make me happy.
Yeah. Spectrum Magic.
Oh, I was trying to think of what your number one was going to be, and I should have known that. Yeah.
Spectrum Magic for me was my childhood. It's like one of the only things I remember about being little and going. I remember seeing it in high school. I remember seeing it in college. There was a time when I knew people that were in it. And so I remember like, that was my first foray into like, this is an attainable goal. Like, not that I wanted to be in the parade, but like, these are real human beings, not like celebrities that are in this parade.
Yeah.
The lights, the music, the nighttime in Magic Kingdom vibes.
Well, obviously where Spectrum Magic, but they replaced Spectrum Magic with
that garbage thing that people like, the Main Street Electrical Parade.
Free Electrical Parade, but then when that goes away, then you just have nothing.
Yeah, it feels like a ripoff. I mean, if you went back 10 years from here, we would have had a Magic Kingdom daytime parade, a Magic Kingdom nighttime parade, Hollywood Studios daytime parade. If you went back a little further, we had an Epcot parade. Sometimes at Christmas, there was an Animal Kingdom parade. Like, there were a lot of parades.
I know. And then you just kind of like wonder why. And so many opportunities for entertainment. I mean, people would dream to be in a parade, so you're taking away these opportunities and just why? I don't know.
I would love to know because I also, and you do too, love like a business perspective,
Yeah,
what the reasoning is. To me, it was great. Like many of these other things we've named, great way to crowd control or like please people because it was like an attraction in the streets. So it
right.
took people out of lines. It
Mhm.
took people, and maybe that's why they, I don't know.
I could see a reason why they stopped though, because now they are having to put so many cast members into like crowd control of getting them to stay like seated on the streets and don't put your feet in the walkway and yada yada yada. So I suppose, but I don't know. I love a parade.
I love a parade too. I
Yep.
love a parade, and I love the energy of a parade, the spirit of like the people around you all. Because attractions are very cool, but an attraction is almost like a personal experience. Because if you're doing it right, you're not like talking, right? You're not looking
Right.
around at everybody. You're not, it's like you experiencing a moment, and that's amazing. A parade, you're like watching dum-dums like us freak out because we see Chippendale matching our outfits. It's you see like a little kid not meeting, but like seeing Mickey for the first
Yeah.
time. You see some parade dancer giving 4,000%.
It's
Like,
like a live, it's, I mean, it is, it's live entertainment. And I
yes.
think it's something like you don't get a parade at Six Flags. You don't get,
No, right.
yes, they have parades at Universal, but you don't get,
It's not the same.
it's not a, I don't know, it's a different piece of the magic that they took away. And I just would love to know why.
I totally agree. I would love to know why. Um,
And it hits everybody, right? Like you and I can like freak out over seeing Chippendale, but imagine like in a year, my kids sitting on the street, like
that's what I'm saying.
so and so
And,
go by.
and like I would go watch a parade as someone who's seen a parade 1,000 times to watch your son
Yeah.
like get excited about what's happening. Even kids I don't know, just like
I was
watch
gonna say, I would
old
watch
people
a
watch.
stranger get excited.
Yes, yes. The whole experience to me is amazing. You get to like it's almost like a sporting event. You get to like camp out. You bring your little snackies. You talk
Yeah.
about what you think is going to happen, what you think the parade's
I
going to
mean,
be like. Like it's a whole thing.
we literally we buy Halloween party tickets just for the parade. Let's be honest.
100%.
We are big parade people, so it is a real bummer that Walt Disney World has gone down to one singular parade. Um,
I I agree. I hope they're listening like they always do.
and
Um,
yeah,
yeah. The two to me the takeaways here are we need more parades and we need more lights.
and even at Disneyland, they have a parade which is like magical, but it
Yeah,
doesn't go and run every day.
right.
Just very, that's real interesting.
Yeah, I would love to know like what happened because that's like a recurring theme. I mean, Animal Kingdom not open as late. Fantasmic used to be like 2 times a night every night, 7 days a week. Now it's like you're lucky if it's happening when you're there.
Yeah.
So it's just all of it. Epcot used to have a parade, no parade anymore. Magic Kingdom, no parade
But
anymore.
I know that it's, I do think, I mean, I guess we have to like pull up numbers. I do think it's more crowded than it was 10 years ago.
Yes,
But also, an argument could be made that there was just more stuff going on where the crowds were dispersed, where
right,
it didn't feel as crowded.
right. And there's a lot of like more nuanced examples of this. Like somebody mentioned Sorcerers of the Magic Kingdom, which was that card game.
Yeah.
And that cost them, you could get one new pack of cards a day, which had to cost them less than $1. And that gave people tons to do that wasn't waiting in line. It just was like walking around exploring.
Yeah.
And like people got into it. And then they spent money on like books to keep their cards in and all that stuff. So, like, why not keep that? And it was in like windows, like places that were otherwise
Right.
unused that now are unused again. They didn't like turn that space into something.
Bizarre. Bizarre, bizarre, bizarre.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
You're right. Maybe the crowds. You what?
give us some honorable mentions from others that we can.
I was going to, and then I realized we gotta see what people are saying. Maybe we need to do like a part two,
I know we might have to.
like a popular opinions, because we did ours, but I'd love to cover like the general other ones that were named.
Okay, so you want to
So,
give them a part two?
yeah, give them a part two.
All right, so we need you to listen to what we just said. Give us your opinions on this so we can dissect your opinions.
Yeah.
And then also we'll read yours.
Yes. Love it. I think it's a great idea.
Perfect. Wow. I mean, Disney World, I still love you, but like, it is sad.
Yeah. It's like a loss.
Weird things you didn't think you would mourn at.
At Disney.
Oh.
I know. I know.
So funny.
Sorry. And we didn't even think about like restaurants. Are there restaurants that have left that were good? I don't even know.
Okay, let me just put this in another perspective, okay? Now, obviously you live there, but like I go to Disney quite a bit.
Yep.
Every year. If things didn't change, if things were just left exactly the same as they were 10 years ago,
Yeah.
would we then be complaining that we knew things? Yes and no, because I guess a lot of my arguments are the things that went away could still be there along with all the other new.
That's, yes, also my argument. And I'm not like a land developer, so I can't explain why we don't do this. But to me, it's like, just make the parks bigger, add a fifth gate. I don't know, something else. Universal isn't out here demolishing what they've built. They're building a new park. Like,
I know.
And it's like across the street and around the corner. It's like not even convenient, and they're doing it, and people are losing their minds for it.
Right. Right.
So is there really like not enough land? Are we saving that for like 30/30 or something? What?
I'll never understand.
I don't get it. And like turning the Star Wars hotel that I never got to experience into offices.
That
Not even like just like an unthemed or like a boardly themed hotel, like without all the extra stuff. What?
So I was reading some of the comments and they were saying that like it wouldn't have, I mean, comments are people's opinions, so you wouldn't know, but that the way that it was built, like you wouldn't be able to operate like a regular hotel, or
well, that seems like a big oversight then, because it was a hotel.
Agreed. Right.
So,
and I guess, isn't it technically like, where is it? Isn't it technically outside of Hollywood Studios?
on like the backside, yeah.
So like there wasn't a way that they could have like made a decorated path and you could like walk through and make it a restaurant?
There was a decorated path. I mean, there was like a path, because that was like a big allure of the stay, was you could walk from the hotel to right into Galaxy's Edge. Right. It was like you landed there, and yeah.
So they could have made it like an add-on to Galaxy's Edge and made it a restaurant.
It just doesn't add up to me, and I never went there. Literally, I've never even been there. It's one place on property I've never seen.
Well, you have to be like a millionaire to have been able to attend.
And it was on like super lockdown. It was hard to even find. I know where it is, but like they didn't want people there. And the timing of when it opened and then when I sold my company, I never even like delivered a gift basket there.
Yeah.
Which is crazy, because I've been in those other hotel lobbies like probably 600 times each.
For sure.
But never saw it. Wild. Just wild. Wild.
Very, very wild. Very wild. Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, if we're talking about budget cuts.
Yep.
That's an odd decision. Odd.
I think people would just like stop, like you said, they would like drive over there, Star Wars people, to have lunch or whatever. I don't know.
Something. Crazy.
We'll never know.
All right. Part 2 coming next week.
Yes. Thank you for listening. We love you. And we want to know more about your things you miss.
Yes. Agreed. Okay. All right. Bye.
Bye. Bye.